Alright YouTube, it's your boy AlexTrainsChest back here, and today I am super excited for two important reasons. The first reason that I'm excited is because I just prepared myself a very delicious looking post-workout meal. Got some scrambled eggs with some kale, and I've got a nice mild Italian chicken sausage right there, and then I've also got some sushi right here. This is a volcano roll, and this has got spicy tuna on the inside, spicy tuna on the outside with like some seasoning and stuff. And we'll do some videos where we talk more about how to make this stuff. But as you can see, it all looks really good. And let me tell you something really fast about kale. So I actually think that kale tastes kind of crummy regularly, just without anything. But when you put it in eggs with some cheese, it tastes really good. So try that out. Anyway. Alright guys, so the second reason why I'm super excited to talk to you guys today is because I finally got some gym footage, and that's going to be coming up in just a second. I did an arm and a back workout for you guys. So we're going to be hitting the biceps, we're going to be hitting the triceps, and we're also going to be getting the back involved. So this is going to be a 4 exercise workout. It's going to be basically 2 exercises supersetted in pairs with one another. So the first pair of exercises is going to be a pull-up drop set. The second exercise, which is going to be supersetted with the pull-ups, is going to be a bench lay-down tricep extension. Okay. The third exercise, which is going to be supersetted with the fourth exercise, is going to be a straight bar skull crusher. Okay. And then the last exercise, which is supersetted with the skull crushers, is going to just be a straight bar curl. Okay. So let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Alright everybody, so here we are in the video. Right now I'm just getting set up to do a couple warm-up pull-ups. I like to do about 5 chin-ups, and then you'll see me do unweighted, and then you'll see me do 5 pull-ups unweighted. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll go into the tricep extension, and that I do between 8 and 10 reps on like a lightweight. I think in this case I use the 15-pound dumbbells. So actually before filming this video I had just done some hill sprints, so I was pretty well warmed up, just generally blood's flowing through my body, kind of got my heart rate up, whatever. Yeah, so here I'm doing the tricep extension. Anyway, I like to, before all of my workouts, I like to go through each exercise that I'm about to do and just do a quick warm-up on that, just so that I get my body used to the type of contraction that I'm looking for, and I really think about what muscles are working with what other muscles, etc. So I'll just do a quick warm-up here, and then pretty soon here we'll get into the working sets. The working set rep range for this particular workout, or at least this first set of exercise sequences, that being the pull-ups and the lay-down tricep extension, is between 8 and 10 reps. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said that this pull-up sequence is going to be kind of like an extended drop set. So what that means practically here is I'm going to put on the weight, and I'm going to get up to the bar, and I'm going to try to do between 8 and 10 reps here, and then I'm going to take off the weight. I'm going to try to do 8 to 10 reps unweighted, and then I'm going to move the band over and put my feet in it and try to get another 8 to 10 reps with the band. All right, so now that I finished with my first extended drop set of pull-ups, I'm going to go straight into the lay down tricep extension. Now, I think on this particular set, it's set number 1, I'm fresh. I'm pretty sure I think like 13 reps on this set, which is, higher than the 8 to 10 rep range that I initially called out in the beginning of the video. Now, that's not a bad thing. The reason why I decided to do more reps is because, I felt like um, I would get, I could still get more out of the exercise, and what we're going to see in a second is we'll talk about rest periods. And even if you get more reps in the first set, keep in mind with the minimal rest period, this is going to start to get kind of hard. So, I guess one last thing I'll mention is rest period. You'll notice in between each of the pull-up sets is very minimal rest. Almost like you take the weight belt off, you jump on the pull-up bar, put the band on your feet, jump on the pull-up bar, go straight into the tricep extension. Now, between kind of full sets of that sequence, you're going to want to try to keep your reps to a minimum. Like pretty much right when you're ready to go, just go and see if you can surprise yourself with how many reps you can get. The goal of this is to not be in the gym for several hours trying to get X amount of sets per body part. You just want to get in there, get a good pump in, get some good stretching, contraction on the muscle. You're done. Go home and eat, rest. Alright, so now that I've kind of gotten through that discussion, I just wanted to state a couple things for some clarifying points. So when I say, try to get back on the bar as soon as possible, maybe it'd be, better to be a little bit definite about that. So I'm looking for between 30 and 90-second rest, but I really want to keep the 90-second rest. Like that's an absolute maximum, I don't want to be spending a bunch of time wandering around the gym or getting on my phone or, thinking to myself that, I'm too pumped or whatever. What I really want to try and do is get right back up on the bar. Now, you'll notice that I did something just there where I think that I got either 5 or 6 reps. And it wasn't in like one continuous sequence. Now, what I like to do is if I don't hit the minimum end of the rep range, meaning in that case I think I got 6 reps, what I'll do is I'll try to rest. I'll do like a rest pause technique. So I'll try to rest for maximum 20 seconds. If you do 30 seconds, it's pushing it. Maximum 20 seconds, and I'll try to get right back up on the bar and do as many reps as it takes to get to that minimum rep range. So in that case, I got 6 reps. I rested for a few seconds, and then I did 2 more reps to get 8. And depending on how it feels, maybe I'll try to bust out a couple more. But a lot of these sets, we're going pretty close to failure, if not at failure. So it's not about trying to kill yourself, but it's also not about, I guess, quote unquote, slacking off. When I get done with these sets, I really want to feel like I have worked the muscle, and if I don't feel like I've worked the muscle, or I don't feel like I've really, done, metabolically overloaded or fatigued the muscle enough, then I will do more reps, as necessary to generate the feeling that I'm looking for. So now I'm going into the second set of lay down tricep extension, and this is actually a good segue from what we were just talking about. So in this particular set, I believe that I get 11 reps, and what you're going to see is I actually kind of have to lay down the dumbbells pretty abruptly after that. So as I said before, in the first set I got 13 reps. That was above the 10 rep range. In this set, I'm targeting the 8 to 10 rep range, but when I get to 10 reps, I feel like I've got another one, so I bust it right out. All right, second set down. We're gonna try to do 4. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is we're not gonna stop with just these 2 exercise combinations. Still gotta run over to the cable machine, and we're gonna do some tricep extension standing, and then we're gonna hit some of these, not easy bars, but straight bar curls, and that's really gonna get you guys a pump. So try that. So never forget to hydrate. Water's lifeblood, you guys. Alright, so now I'm getting ready to go into round number 3, and here stuff is starting to get pretty hard. So I'm doing a chin up here, and usually I'm stronger on chin ups than I am on pull ups, but I end up only getting 5 reps. And again, you know, this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's an indication that, you know, the exercises that you're doing are actually fatiguing the muscle in a way that you want. So again, you know, I do the rest pause technique. I get right back up on the bar, and I try to bust out 3 more for a minimum of 8 reps total. Now I'm back on the bar for the unweighted ones, and I guess this might be a good time to just share kind of just like a general philosophy that I like to follow when working out. You know, right now the gym is not very crowded, but there are times when you'll come in and it'll be very crowded and there's not a whole lot of space. So the nice thing about this exercise sequence that I have right here is I'm using the bench as a way to get up to the pull-up bar. I've already got the band set up on the pull-up bar, and I'm not using a ton of equipment. You know, I've left the 15-pound dumbbells out because basically I'm being lazy at this point. I'm going to put them back when I'm done with this portion of the workout. But you know, if somebody needed to use the squat rack or something like that, I could definitely move the bench out of there. There's just like with this exercise combination, it's not very disruptive, you know, to like the flow of the gym, and that's really important because what can sometimes happen is when you're working out, you know, people will come and try to take over the equipment that you're using, or you know, somebody might want to do something and you're in the way, and you always want to be courteous, you know, to people, because you know everybody who's in here is trying to get in shape and get the workout in. So lucky for you guys, it's gonna be a 4K video, baby. You know, the nice thing about that is I don't think I've seen any other fitness YouTube video in 4K. So just gotta subscribe, man. So right there, I'm actually only able to get 3 reps, and that's because I'm doing some pull-ups, and I'm just, in general, I'm weaker up, and then it looks like I try to do another couple, and I'm only able to get 4 reps, and at that point, I realize in the workout, you know, hey, I'm not going to be able to bust out any more of these with weight, but that's okay. So I just take the weight right off, I hop back up on the bar, and I do as many more as I can unweighted. So this is the last set of pull-ups that we're going to do in this workout. So whenever it's the last set, I just like to say, hey, you know, I'm going to make this one count, and I'm really going to try to do just as many as I can until whatever, you know, muscle I'm trying to work is just, it's too blown out, you know, like I'm not able to do anymore. Alright, so the last thing I'll mention before we move on to the second segment of this workout is the position of my arms at the top of the rep in the lay down tricep extension. Notice how they're about 45, if not a little bit more, maybe even 60 degrees back from, you know, 90 degrees with respect to my body. And The purpose of this is to still maintain a good stretch on the muscle at the top of the rep. If I was 90 degrees, there'd be no tension on the muscle at the top of the rep, and I'm missing out on some gains that I could be getting from doing what I'm doing in the video. Okay, that's the first part of the workout done. Remember, guys, always re-rack your weights, because it's really annoying. Oh, and re-rack them correctly, by the way. There's like labels on the dumbbell rack. People put them in the wrong spots. Drives me nuts. All you guys who are OCD out there, I'm sure drives you guys nuts too. But remember to re-rack your weights. Alright, guys. The cable machine right now is taken. I mentioned earlier that we were going to try to get some of that, but you know, sometimes that's what happens. The equipment that you want to use is taken, but that's okay. We're going to improvise. So we've got a different setup here. Set up a bar like this. And what we're going to do on the bar like that is a kind of like a pass your head under tricep extension. So I don't really know why the word of the skull crusher was escaping me in that moment, but yeah, you know, these are basically a you know, barbell skull crusher, and these are actually a pretty challenging exercise. So one thing that I want to point out is the lower that you put the bar, the more challenging this exercise is going to be. Conversely, the higher you put the bar, the easier the exercise is going to be. So we're going to do these skull crushers, and we're going to superset these with straight bar bicep curls. With the straight bar bicep curl, we're going to do like a what's kind of been called like a 1.5 rep technique. If any of you guys watch you know, Jeff Cavalieri's big inspiration of mine. He does these all the time with a lot of different exercises. But what you basically do in the 1.5 rep technique is, you see, I go up 100%, then I come down to about 50%, and I re-engage back up to 100%. So here's what we'll start at the next rep. So here, up all the way to the top, down to about 50%, and back up. And what this allows you to do is, when you do that second, say, you know, 50% of the 150%, so when you go down to 50 and come back up to 100, you're really going to feel a ton of blood rushing into your bicep, and you're really going to get a solid contraction of the bicep there. And you know, what you should feel is your bicep almost like kind of blowing up. Like, it just, you know, it gets you a great pump, and it feels awesome. So another little quick tip that you can do anytime you're doing a you know, straight bar bicep curl is do a little bit of cheat rep, and that's kind of what I'm demonstrating here. At the bottom of the rep, I kind of move my hips back and I thrust forward a little bit, and the whole point of that is to give the bar a little bit of momentum so I can get it to the top of the rep easier. Now, you might be thinking, oh, you know, why do you want to get it to the top of the rep easier? Well, the whole reason that I want to get it to the top of the rep easier is because I'm already at the point where I've kind of gone to failure on the concentric portion, meaning if I don't do that little hip thrust, I won't be able to control the weight up to the top. Okay, but I have not yet gone to failure in the eccentric portion of the rep, which is lowering of the weight. So the eccentric portion of the rep, for almost, you know, for pretty much every exercise that you do, is just as important, if not possibly more important, than the concentric portion. In terms of number of reps and number of sets for this second part of the workout, I don't really have a specific goal or rep range in mind. I'm really just trying to go to failure. And I'm really just kind of trying to drive the pump in and really make sure that I fatigue the muscle, and, you know, and get that feeling that I've really done some work at the gym. So on the skull crushers, I think that I'm getting between 8 and 10 reps. That's just the way that it works out. Now on the bicep curl, what I'm doing is I'm doing the 1.5 rep technique. I'm going until failure. maybe put the bar down for a couple seconds just to do a little bit of rest pause. I pick it up again, and that's when I start to do my kind of assisted cheek curls to just really drive in. So I did a little something there that you may or may not have noticed, but I took like just a couple tiny steps closer to the bar for this last set of skull crushers. And I was mentioning earlier, if you raise the bar, it makes the exercise easier. If you lower the bar, it makes the exercise easier. Also, if you move your feet closer to the bar, it makes the exercise easier. Alright, so the last thing that I'm going to do as the final part of the workout is I'm going to do a couple single arm 1.5 rep technique just with a lighter weight dumbbell on my left side. That's because generally I feel everything on my right side a little bit more, and sometimes I have a little bit of problem with muscle imbalance. My left bicep is bigger than my right bicep.
Alright guys, there it is. Pull-ups, lay down tricep extension, do tricep skull crusher things, bicep curls. Just get you a great pump. Might even be sore the next day. And fuck yeah, let's get big this summer, right?